Mr. Bahad Bukhari, Head of DE&I at Jazz Pakistan. Mr. Bahad comes with over 20 years of experience in talent, OD and HR in leadership positions, including leading the charge on DE&I for the past few years. Known in the industry for her work in the field of OD and gender inclusion, experience in multiple industries and currently heading DE&I function at Jazz Pakistan. She is the first and only Pakistani member of Forbes Human Resource Council. Her credentials also include Certified Inclusive Leadership, Certified D&I Practitioner, and Certified Strategy Management from Harvard University. Please welcome Sabahat Bukhari.
Wherever assessments are coming, I just jump in. Thank you so very much for a lovely presentation before me. And when I come on podium, I get very nervous, so I will not go there. Performance coaching. I heard the word coaching here, and I got really, very excited. At least there's someone who wants to hear about coaching. Coaching is something that has been used so many times here, and globally there's very much used and misused word as well. With over 10,000 bits of data, Google did a very long-term study around the world, and 5 top skills that were identified for managers to get the best management kind of award, you may say, or best management skills. One of the skills was coaching. And it was a long-term study consisting of a decade. But there were some questions. Do managers actually do coaching? Do managers actually do coaching? Are managers good coaches? Even if they do, are they good coach? Very importantly, can they drive performance through coaching? Or I can ask this differently. Is it important for managers to drive performance through coaching? Because if we know that if it is important for them to drive performance through coaching, they will do it. Whatever is strategically important, that will get done. Very importantly, let me share some more data. 2.5 million business units were studied, and 27 million employees over the past 2 decades shared some very important insight. Some managers are not doing good jobs. So, whatever we were asking, the answer were, oh no. So those were the data globally. Let's ask him. What do you think? Can I ask you to take out mobile phones? Please scan this. Dil ke haal jaate hain. I'll ask some questions here. When you're done scanning, there will be some questions. I will not share it with your managers, don't worry. When you're done scanning, please let me know so that I can shift it. You will get some questions and I'll show the answers here. see developing people as one of your primary tasks? Yeah. So 20 people here see that as their primary task.
You don't believe it? You seem to be a bit surprised.
That's a good news, yeah? How many of you feel that the feedback you got helped you do better at that work? Those 5 who said that it's not your primary task, I want to see what do they say. I like it. I actually like it.
Dealing with HR professionals.
ये सच्ची जवाब देंगे मतलब ऑटो वाले जवाब नहीं देंगे
But this is the question you ask the business managers, not the HR.
Yes.
I think that's the difference because the bulk of the hair and the HR population, not the business population.
Actually, we HR feel very good about the feedback. That's the point. And actually, this is serving me very good into analyzing how we HR see importance of the feedback. You know what I like? The 3s and the 5s. This is where the truth lies. We saw that there are people who feel that their job is to provide the feedback, right? And there are people who feel that the feedback helps them. But there are only 2 people, 2 managers out of 10 around the world who are providing the coaching. Most of the managers are providing what? Feedback. And people are feeling, oh wow, feedback is good for me. Thank you. Talia. Bahut achhi baat. What has happened globally, that in the past 5 years, coaching industry is thriving like anything globally. Right? Everyone is becoming a coach. And if we just help one manager in becoming the right coach, according to the average span of control, 8 lives actually can get improved. So this is how important it is to develop managers into good coaches. But we can make work fun as well. It's not about being productive. And that's the best part that we always forget. Because we get what? Feedback. Pakistan, we don't talk about performance coaching. We talk about a lot about coaching. हम क्रिकेट में भी हर दफा एक नया कोच ले आते हैं ना, हमारे लोग अच्छा परफॉर्म करना शुरू हो जाते हैं. Why we don't do coaching? Because we feel ये अच्छा नहीं परफॉर्म कर रहा है, इसकी कोचिंग करनी चाहिए. Right? हमेशा ही होता है that this person, these are the non-good performers को कोच कर दो. इससे ये गलती की है, that's a coaching moment. बहुत अच्छा मैनेजर होता है, हम कहते हैं यार ये गलती हुई है. Find it as a good coaching moment and you should coach that. It's a very typical sentence that we use. Secondly, managers are expected to know, fix the person, reward the person. As if this is something to be fixed, the person needs to be fixed. Bad people should be fixed because people are things that need to be fixed. And behaviors are to be rewarded, good behaviors are to be rewarded. Carrot and stick approach. And not all managers need coaching because किसको coaching दी जाती है? Those who are bad performers. Similarly, चूँकि bad performance की coaching की जाती है, तो bad coaches तो बहुत expensive होते हैं, तो coach के ऊपर क्यों पैसे खर्च करें? ठीक? So performance coaching क्या होती है? And how is it different from traditional coaching? Traditional coaching means जो sports में coaching हो रही है, how that is different from the performance coaching, or is it same? That's the main question. Is it same as the traditional coaching, the way we do the sports coaching, or is it different? First thing first, it is different. Because in traditional or the sports-based coaching, we tell the technique, telling direction or directions and control-based coaching. While performance coaching is all about asking the questions. Finding out the potential in the person, believing that the person already knows. The person who is being coached or the coachee already know the answer. This means that the person being coached is not a bad performer. So my question from the audience, can managers do performance coaching? What do you think? What do you all think?
Yes.
Can managers do the coaching, performance coaching?
Yes.
You are a coach. Right? So, I mean, you need to be a coach. There's a difference between a line manager, and a coach. If you are a coach, yes, you have the capacity and the skill set to do coaching.
Yes, you can do coaching because all of your team, you just need to see them as performers. This is just a different glasses you need to pick. Instead of seeing them, they are here to perform bad, you just need to believe they are here to perform. All you need to do is to believe that each of my team member has potential to perform. But there is a problem in it. The performance equation, which is very, very popular, and all the most of the traditional coaches want to believe that performance is equal to potential minus interference, and if we reduce the interference, that performance will be equal to the potential, and that means that we can utilize the potential if we remove the interference. And all performance systems are based on this equations, which is inherently wrong. That is why all performance systems inherently fail to give you the results that you want. Because that's all we have. Inherently, all performance systems have interferences built into them. You plan entire culture, external conversations, team competitions, conflicts, conversations among the team members are interferences. Feedback that all of you are very happy to receive are interferences. If you remove all of them, your performance system will fall flat. So the basis of all performance systems, currently or previous, which is the feedback loop which everyone is so happy to receive, if you remove that, even then your potential will be only equal to receive the performance. But what are you demanding? Are you demanding only performance? No, you are demanding high performance. Then how would you get get the performance. You will only get the performance based on whatever the potential is. You will not get the performance based on the potential that the person. If the high potential is there, then you will get high performance. So either the performance equation is wrong, or your demand is wrong, or there is something wrong. Do you agree? Yeah? The problem is, there is a cycle of interference going on. Have you ever noticed how kids learn? All kids, whenever they are learning, they keep trying. They keep trying. If you just observe them how they keep trying, they just keep the focus on whatever they are doing, and they just keep doing it without looking here and there. And their focus remains the same, and they keep learning by doing, learning by doing. If you look at the high performers, they do it and they repeat until they get the performance. If you talk to the high achievers, and you talk to them how and what is the process of learning, they will tell them there is no voice here which tells them that you can't perform. All the manager discussion is based on the feedback. What were the reasons of your previous non-performance and what you should be doing now that will deliver the high performance? So what the person is listening is an internal voice that what were the reasons I could not perform earlier only. And that is the command and control system which keep telling them, the inner voice, which is giving them the distorted image of their self. Their reasons of not performing. The perception they built of themselves is, I can't perform. On the basis of that, the interference comes in, I can't perform. Their internal dialogue is interference, and that is why the feedback is only the interference, not the feedback that you are giving. That is why their perception of themselves is creating a response of non-performance. And that is the result that you are getting is non-performance. This cycle keeps on going, and only thing that you are getting as the result of the interference is non-performance. The more feedback you are giving, the more response that you are getting is non-performance. And the proven result is that you keep telling a kid that you are not performing. You are, let me tell you how to perform. Let me tell you how to get result good. Let me tell you what to do next. And the kid will keep getting failed. This is an observed fact. हमारे पास क्रिकेट कोचिंग में भी यही हुआ. हमारे क्रिकेट कोचेस बताते रहे हमें परफॉर्मर्स को ऐसे बॉल कराओ, ऐसे क्रिकेट खेलो. Command and control. This is the right way of doing it. These are the instructions to follow. ऐसे बैट पकड़ के खेलना चाहिए. And they kept getting failed again and again and again. What is the difference in current team and the previous teams? Are there any cricket lovers here who can tell me? Yes, please.
I can't tell the difference, I just love it.
Huh? Sure, tell me. What is the difference in the current team which is winning with the previous team? Have you seen that conversation that the team was happening behind the camera when they lost the match? That famous conversation Babar Azam was having with his team. No, none of you was.
That was a big question for all, I guess. He was supportive, even though they played.
Yes, no one was asking why didn't you perform. No one was fighting that you did this wrong, you did that wrong. Nobody was fighting among each other. The conversation was, next time we will do this better. The conversation was entirely different. And did you notice that the social media conversation was entirely different as well? The social media conversation was they did not play well, but my God, did we enjoy the game? Yes? So the conversation was around what was the entire process, the efforts, and what will they do better next time. So the process was not feedback. The process was feed forward. And everyone in the room was discussing what was wrong? No. The inner voice. And that is this is what I use as the performance coaching model, and that is what I'm sharing here. The model that I use is focused on inner dialogue. The inner voice which keeps giving you an inner distorted image. Now I'm going to ask you one thing, and I need a deeper answer. How many of you have an inner dialogue when you're working? An inner voice? Or maybe more than one inner voice? Is it positive all the time? Yeah? It keeps telling you many things. Sometimes, yeah? Sometimes it gives you boost as well, yes. And sometimes it gives you expert advice too. This is the right way, this is not the right way. Sometimes it gives you advice what to wear. A performance coach actually does not give you that inner voice. A performance coach will never give you a solution. A performance coach will ask you questions. The inner dialogue will answer or will provide you that answer. The self-experience is what the performance coach will improve. Ask a question so that you can experience yourself into a positive way. And the more self-awareness you will have, the more internal dialogue you will be able to control for yourself. And that's what a manager can do. That's where the manager role can come. So when a performance coach sits with your manager, do this coaching with the manager will experience it for themselves. If they can experience it for themselves, they will be able to do it for their team as well. It has to be, you can't teach that to the managers. They have to experience it for themselves, and they will be making sure that their team experiences it for themselves. Then come the outer conversations, the immediate external conversation. And that immediate external conversation is that what managers can do with their team. And you, those who are experienced as the coachee, do as part of their performances. Then come the organization culture. For example, I am a team member. If I had gone through the coaching, performance coaching myself, my inner dialogue is positive now. And the other person's inner dialogue is also positive. And another person's dialogue is also positive. Because of that, the team culture gets improved as well. And because of that, there is an external culture that gets improved as well. So overall, the coaching improves this from a performance experience perspective. You are not reducing only the interference, but actually increasing this potential. That means you are increasing the potential, which is resulting into the increased performance. And because of that, what you're getting is the areas where the performances actually improve. The areas that you improve as a person is how the person actually show up to themselves. performances are related to how you appear to yourself, your internal dialogue gets improved, your person's image in your eyes get improved. What happens is that your perception gets fixed. Your perception gets fixed, your response to that perception gets fixed. And as a result of that, your results get improved. This entire process of improving the performance results into the peak performance. You do not only fix the performance systems, you make sure that the persons keep on increasing the performance again and again and again. So regardless of whatever the performance management system is there, that's an appraisal or a checkbox system or whatever the system is. What you fix is the person and the relationship of that person with their manager and the relationship of that person and the team inside the culture of the organization. So, 4 areas that the managers can actually get as a result of the coaching. How can you do that? First, coach managers, so that they can actually coach their teams. Once they experience it, you can actually coach them. And let them understand how this actually works. Let them understand how this internal dialogue happens. If they don't understand how their words, how their language actually affect their team members, they will not be able to understand how seemingly insensitive remark destroys the person's image in their own eyes. And because of that, the human-to-human connection gets destroyed as well. This actually invalidates the person's image in their own eyes. And that has a long-lasting impact on person's personality. At the end of the day, I will just quickly wrap up the session. There are 4 key takeaways with that. First and foremost, most importantly, you should see the person as their future potential, not as a past performance that they have. And that's what the performance coaching does, that you see the person as what they can do. Therefore, the feedback is a destructive process because it just talks about what you have done wrong. It doesn't talk about what you can deliver. And that's why the feed forward or the internal dialogue improvement is the way to go. Most importantly, leave the choice of doing what they want to improve to the person who is making the choice. Instead of giving the command, aise bat pakdo, aise ball pakdo, just let them make the choice and tell them what they want to do. Ask the right questions, most importantly, rather than giving them the answer. Make them think and let them think on their own. Don't tell them what to think. They have the potential, they know the answer. Also, when the focus improves and focuses on the higher attention, higher than normal performance is important. We have seen that again and again and again. Our team, our cricket team is doing wonders. You have seen that right now, not only in the team, cricket team, in terms of the person who javelin throw, who has got the gold medal. The focus actually brought in more than normal performance that was possible. And that was just part of the focus that was possible. Redefine the work. You can't say, do this. Let them redefine the work themselves. What do they want to do? Do they want to touch the ceiling or do they want to touch the wall? Let them define the work for themselves. As a performance coach, this is a quote that I always coach for myself, is that my job is not as a coach, not to tell you what to do, not to provide solution to you. My job is just to ask the right question. Because I know as a coach, you have the answers. As a end of, and as a thanks to listening to my babbling, I just want to offer 5 coaching sessions free of cost to anybody who wants to take. Sajjad is there. He can guide you through the process. How can you avail? This coaching also involves 5 personality assessments as well, and this is Thinker 50 coaching model that I use normally. So you can avail 5 coaching session. So it's a 35 hours coaching session, including the personality assessment. Thank you so very much. You can ask questions at the end, and I'll be happy to answer.
Thank you, Sabahat. Do we have any questions? Oh, wonderful.
Thanks, Sabahat. I've come to really respect and I think realize the importance of coaching in terms of spanning performance, but even day to day. But in your view, what's the next level in terms of coaching? So share the impact and why we should be doing performance coaching if you're doing normal coaching. What's the next, I guess, evolution of where does coaching go from here?
Sorry, what's the next step to coaching, or
What's the next evolution of coaching? Where do you think? How do you think it's going to evolve, and where is it going to go?
I think coaching as such is taking lot much specialization now. It started off as a very generalized model from the sports coaching, but now it is becoming very specific to the area. So you are going more deeper into life coaching, food coaching, funeral coaching, and so on and so forth. So, but coaching is here to stay, and it is taking the form and taking a very specialized field, carving its own sort of very distinct function from counseling, mentoring, and coaching, going completely separated out. The next step to the coaching is that it is moving away from training and development. That's a very distinct function that is coming out.
Do we have? Okay.
So thank you very much for this new thought. One of the examples that you quote about cricket. So cricket is basically what Babar Azam is doing, or what other captains are doing across the globe in other professional teams. They're actually redefining the goals for each player. So without the leadership in cricket, as our ex-Prime Minister said, that captain is very useful in one of the sports called cricket. So similarly, when you talk about leadership, coaching is one of the leadership traits. This is where we agree. But when you say that you are not actually redefining work for your subordinates, people who are working under you, under your subordination, how do you expect someone with the clear-cut direction, or if someone is stuck somewhere in terms of performance, and your purpose is to improve the performance, and if you're not able to redefine the goals, the processes, the approach, the mindset of that individual who is stuck to a certain performance level, without redefining the objectives and goals and the work itself, how do you expect your team members to actually improve it? That's my question.
Right. So the difference is that managers used to define goals and objectives. Performance coaching means that the goals and objectives definition is to be defined by the team members themselves, where they want to reach. That's the clear-cut definition. The problem is that when you think that the control and the direction is to be given by the leader, that's where the coaching is lost. The mindset of control, that I need to define the goal for my team, is detrimental. Because that's where the inner voice of the person who is actually going to achieve the goal start telling them that you don't have the potential to achieve that goal. That's the interference that the manager starts doing from there onwards. This is where the performance coach starts telling you that you need to set your goal. Where do you want to go? As a coach, you ask the question, the right question to be asked. They set their own direction, they set their own goal and the target.
All right, do we have any more questions?
difficult thing. Yeah.
I think I have.
It's an upside down organization actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another question from Team Abi.
Appreciate it. It's an amazing session, so I really appreciate it. First of all, I think being not HR person myself, I'm heading marketing and brand experience at Abhi. I run into issues like where people expect you to direct versus I have a approach of asking questions and letting them make do the decision-making part so that they feel empowered. But there are certain people who want clear directions in terms of how or why, or from my experience, if I can teach something to them versus if I ask them, hey, why don't you come back with X, Y, Z, thinking about it yourself, and then let's reflect on that and see what would be the right way to go ahead. Sometimes people just want you to tell them exactly what they need to be doing, and they get offensive if you even ask them to kind of do some extra work and work their brain into thinking on the questions that you want them to answer. So how do you, they're usually the young individuals, right? They expect you to kind of guide them, and this is where sometimes conflict occurs into their expectation versus your method of leading. So how do you kind of take this as the best possible way forward?
Yes, this happens. This is the most difficult part actually. मैं छोटा सा इसको सिंप्लीफाई थोड़ा सा करूँगी. मेरी 2 बेटी हैं, 3 बेटियाँ बेसिकली. तीसरी वाली तो मुझे तो ज़्यादा डिफिकल्ट कराती है. जो बड़ी वाली है, शी इज़ ऑफ द वे दैट उसको मुझे आंसर नहीं करना, मैं उससे सवाल करती हूँ. उसको मैं साइकिल चलाना सिखा रही थी, मुझे साइकिल चलाना नहीं आती, लेकिन मैंने उसको साइकिल चलाना सिखाई बाय आस्किंग क्वेश्चंस. मैं उससे पूछा है कि ओके व्हाट डू यू फील, इधर क्या लग रहा है, इधर क्या लग रहा है, कैसे तुम्हें ठीक करना है. And she started doing it. It took me time. Actually, it took me 1 week to do it. But she started doing it. She started finding the balance. I asked her, किधर तुम्हारा balance जा रहा है, उधर ज़्यादा वो है. I don't know how to drive, how to do the bicycling. I've never done any of these things in my childhood. तो मेरी बीच वाली है, उसको सहर लगता है कि उससे कोई सवाल करे. बहुत बुरा लगता है. And she is on that mindset. उससे क्वेश्चन करे. उसको चाहिए कि मैथ्स का अगर कोई सवाल कर रहा है तो मैं उसको सोल्यूशन बता दूँ and she just want to get rid of it. But I always ask her question because मेरा मैथ्स बहुत बुरा है. So I ask her, tell me how did this, what is the next question? What is the next step to be done? If this is how it happens, then what do you think should be the right? So you have to find the right questions to ask. Sometimes you have to really resist to provide the solution because you as a manager will be short of time. You as a manager, you will have the pressure where you will just want to give the answers to get rid of that person ke yaar jo khatam karo karke yaar karke la. But that's the right moment where you have to really hold yourself and you have to ask the question. Sometimes you really have to leave them to find the right question. You have to actually ask them to find the right questions as well, and they will find it. The real Gen Z is very sharp in finding the questions as well. So sometimes I would just say वो जो booty है वो ये है कि शायद resist the temptation to provide the solution. Any other questions?
I think we have one more question. Yeah.
Sorry, just one question. Probably about building on what I've heard. I think you summarized it very well, that sometimes employees are only looking for solutions or quick fixes to get the work done. In my opinion, quick fixes can drive performance, but I think that element of performance, pre-performance की बात नहीं कर रहे, सिर्फ performance की बात कर रहे. मगर I think the key differentiator in my opinion is development. The development part of an individual only comes in when you coach that. because कोई आपकी जो बात है forward thinking वाली, I think that's the key differentiator in my opinion. That development triggers once you start coaching that individual.
Yeah, and let's just say it will not drive the performance, it will just get the thing done.
Get the thing done.
Yeah.
And then
और
what?
driving performance होगी कि it will end up into developing, which is actually the performance that
Which
you
is
want.
the end result
Yeah.
of what you want.
Yeah.
While coaching, you need your employees' talent to develop.
Yeah, beautifully said. Thank you.
Do we have any more questions or any comments?
Thank you so very much. Thank you.